Hey there, guys. What's up? My name is Cerise Fairfax. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, we are going to take a little road trip together all the way from my area, Los Castillos, where you are looking at right now. And we're going to take a road trip around the countryside because a lot of you guys are willing to move outside of Sosua. A lot of you guys are like, hey, you know what? I don't need to be by the beach. I don't need to be by all the action. And you're wondering what is around, and you're really open to seeing different things. So, why don't we take a trip together right now? I'm going to show you guys what the roads look like, going all the way from Chetamicos to Maranata to Bella Vista. I'm going to jump off the motorcycle and I'm going to look for cheap apartments and show you guys how I get it done. It's not always easy job to do because finding rentals here it can be difficult. If you don't have the connections and you don't really know anybody, sometimes it's just almost like a needle in a haystack. But right now, we are going through, this is called La Union. And La Union is a great place where you can go and find apartments. It's a residential area. This residential area boasts a lot of different places that are being put up and like just built, and places that are being rented out. You can get homes, you can get apartments. The reason why it's called Sosua Abajo is because Abajo means lower, means the bottom. And it doesn't mean bottom quality, it just means it's more like I guess like the bowl, the bottom, like the valley. Yeah, the valley, we'll call it that. So this is what Sosua Bajo looks like. And what I do is I contact people before I go there, and people let me know where different places are. Now, this is one place where I'm on the corner and just kind of looking around at different possible apartments. Now, on this corner, I was looking at that place right there. It's just being built. And I thought, hey, why don't I look for the owner? But then I also realized that there's a lot of running water there. And with it being the valley, a lot of the times places get flooded. And I could tell that right there is one of those places that would definitely get flooded. And I know you guys would not want that. So I quickly left that area. But look at the beautiful sky that day. Wasn't it gorgeous out? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to hop back on the bike and we're going to go back down the street and we're going to go look at a few other places. So now we're leaving Sosua Abajo. While I was in Sosua Abajo, I was able to get quite a lot of apartments from my one connection. And in Sosua Abajo, you can get places that are anywhere from like a couple of $100 a month, depending on, if it's furnished, if it's unfurnished. But before I go on, right now we're making a left hand turn into Maranata. Maranata is one street pretty much with a bunch of little side streets where you can go off on the side streets. But this is an area that will take you right into the countryside. Now, I lived in the countryside when I first came here, and I lived here for 1 month, and then I moved into the countryside. That's how much I loved this area that we're going to be in soon, called Bella Vista. But right now, we're still in Maranata. Now, again, here in Sosua Abajo, the place we just left, Bella Vista, and another area that we're going to be going to in a minute is they have places that are mainly unfurnished. Now, in the tourist areas, you're going to find apartments that are furnished. They're going to come with Wi Fi, they're going to come with cable, flat screen TV, and you can get a studio apartment starting at 200 to 300. You can get a one bedroom. I have a one bedroom right now for 450 that you can actually put on Airbnb as a passive income. Now, it really depends, but the farther out you get from the tourist area, the more basic you're going to get, because those apartments are usually rented out to locals. The locals that are going, in and out of town, they rent those places out, but they are not exclusive to locals only. So again, if you're open to renting a place in the local area, like I've always done and I still do really, then you're really going to catch a deal. Now, again, let me elaborate on this area where it is like the local slash countryside area. Most places are not furnished because they're not catering to tourists. They're catering to Dominicans, and they're just assuming that a Dominican will have their own fridge and their own stove and everything like that. We were, if you saw the video cut off, we were about to make a right hand turn, but we decided to go more countryside. So right now we're going more countryside into Bella Vista. Now, again, I did live in this area and I loved it. I lived here for 3 months, but because I started a restaurant on Pedro Clasante in my early days here, like 6 years ago, um, it was common sense for me to move back to Batay. So my heart is still in this area, Bella Vista. It really is spelled Bella Vista in English, and Bella Vista is just, it really has my heart because it's the countryside. It's the first place that I lived outside of the tourist area, and this is a place where I would really love to buy. I'm going to be putting up a video in the next week or so about the river that I went to on an excursion. And I really want you guys to look out for that video because I go through the town, I show you guys the river, and in the river itself, I get to meet a lot of locals. And the locals, they introduce themselves, and it's just a real fun excursion. And I would love to take you guys to the riverside as well. You go there and you can put clay on your face right from the mountain. It has a mini waterfall. It's great. I mean, when I was there, they did a pig roast as well. Well, they prepared the pig roast. So I'm just chit chatting with you guys right now as we're going through the countryside. Um, in this area, I was looking and looking, and I wasn't really able to find anything that would be appealing to my target market, you guys, because a lot of these places were pretty much just cement houses where you really don't have much running water. The electricity is somewhat stable, but I know you guys want hot water. I know you guys want air conditioners, and I know a lot of you guys, you prefer to have at least a fridge and a stove there. You don't mind buying yourself a comfortable bed and a little couch or whatever, but I I know that you guys want something else. So here's an apartment that we saw, and we were able to just kind of go upstairs, and he couldn't get in. But at least we were able to, get a good view of one that would be available. And as you can see, I was standing outside waiting for my motor concho. He's walking down there, and I just thought I would do a little bit of videoing for you guys. Now, this would be considered modern building that's going on in the countryside. This is literally 15 minutes from downtown Sosua. Not so bad, right? I mean, in Toronto, where I'm from, it would take, 45 minutes to get to the countryside. Sorry about the notifications in the background and here on my phone. It's a busy time for me right now, and I just didn't turn off all my phones. So we'll deal with that. I apologize if it's driving you guys crazy. Please bear with me. So yeah, this is not so far away from downtown Sosua, and it's a very safe area, a very quiet area. So for those of you who don't want the hustle and the bustle of like the main strip, but you still want to be close to everything, then definitely let me know. And these are some places that I can get you into. Now, if you're a person that like, you're like, hey, it doesn't matter if it has hot water or not, you can put the hot water tank in because you're going to be here long term anyway. You're looking at about, a few $100 to put in water. Look at those eyes. Oh, so cute. Looks like a miniature Doberman pincer. But I digress. I apologize. I love animals. But yeah, if you just want to put your own hot water heater in and your own air conditioner in, then you are grooving, because a lot of people, they don't realize that that is a main portion of their rent. So now let's look at this apartment. This is in a place called Los Castillos. And in this place here, we were able to go in and I'm feeling this apartment. This apartment is over top of a house, and it is I believe it was a 2 bedroom or a 3 bedroom, but it does have hot water and it has solar. And this is going for 400 a month, and it's just getting built. Like, I don't know if you can see in this video the space that this place has. Those cupboards are just being put in. Like, we hit the jackpot at this place right here, because the woman, she lives in Montreal most of the time. She's originally Dominican, but her husband and her met here. Again, I'm sorry about the notification. Her and her husband met here in the Dominican Republic, and they built on top of their home. So as you can see, that's a little area right there for washing and drying. And then in here, there's a bedroom. Now, you may notice that there's a lot of bars on the windows, and that's just something that you find here in the Dominican Republic. It's a safety feature. In Canada, and probably a lot of people in the United States, you guys may have motion sensors and cameras outside your home. And of course, the new thing, relatively new thing now, the ring bell, or the bell ring, or the door ring, or whatever. A lot of those are more monitors. But here, the common thing is bars on the windows. I have bars on my window as well. So there is a bathroom right there. The bathroom is just as it also being renovated. Now, this is a relatively new apartment. I like the high ceilings, because high ceilings in the Dominican Republic and a window is like awesome. I don't like getting out of the washroom and there's no window and no high ceilings. You just like sweat as soon as you get out of the shower, and my curly hair goes frizzy. So here's a second bedroom, again just being built. And this one here, like I said, you once you're in it, you can also take it for long term. That's one thing. These apartments in the areas that are not touristy, they are for long term rental. So they're ideal for someone that is coming here and wants to live long term, doesn't mind getting their own furniture, and really just wants to live in an inexpensive apartment. So you can see the floors are all brand new. I really liked this apartment. Look at the high ceilings. There was a lot of breeze coming in, and it was a very comfortable feeling. I really enjoyed the landlords. I happened to catch them when they were in town, and she was telling me that she wants to let this go long term. Now, she rather let it go long term without any furniture and the person get their own things. But again, a lot of the landlords will get furniture in there for you. But you know what the key is? They will make you pay a little bit more rent. Or if they know that the place is not worth more, what they'll do is they'll make you pay three deposits as opposed to one deposit and one rent, because with the other two deposits, they're going to buy the furniture for you. And then the last 2 months that you're there, they will just tell you live out the last 2 months without paying any rent. That happens quite often here. Not all the time, though, but quite often. Usually, when you pay your rent, it is one deposit and one rent. And the deposit is usually the same price as 1 month's rent. Lately, there's been a lot of landlords that expect people to pay two deposits and three deposits. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen with any of my landlords that I work with, because they know that I'm not really cool with that. I don't put people down when they do want more deposits, because it just means that they have experienced nightmare tenants, tenants that, tear up their apartment, and they don't pay the electricity when they're leaving, or they leave in the middle of the night because they know that they did something wrong to the apartment. And one deposit just is not going to suffice the damage that has been done to the apartments or the homes. So I understand why a lot of landlords are very strict like that these days. But you guys, my clients, I also like to get a sense about you guys first. I don't just rent out to the first person that wants a place. I really pay attention to who you are, your character, and I get a sense of who you are as well just by talking to you. And it's been a blessing for me to meet a lot of you guys that want apartments, because a lot of you guys are serious. Of course, there are some people that are time wasters, and they say they want a place and then they change their mind. Look at the left hand side. That was a really nice building. They say they want a place, and then they'll be like, hold it for me for like a week or so, and it's like, and then at the end they change their mind. So I've learned to not do that for anyone. It's first come, first serve. Um, you know, it just is what it is. I've had people want to get Airbnbs, and they're like, oh, I want to get an Airbnb. And then they tell me they see it online, and they're like, okay, I'm going to send, sorry about that notification. I'm going to send my deposit tomorrow or the next day. And then they keep holding off, holding off. Well, I don't get upset. I understand that they're just not ready. And they don't mean to waste my time, but they are over promising and under delivering. So, yeah, I get a sense of that. And then I'm just like, all right, on to the next. And, I can do that because these places are not mine. And I don't have to invest a lot of heart and soul. But landlords, they do. And of course, they sometimes want to overcharge because it's their baby that they're renting out, or they put in brand new furniture and they don't want people just treating it like garbage. So anyway, I digress. I went on a whole tangent, but that's just the nature of renting places out here. So if you do meet somebody that wants that many deposits, it's not because they don't trust you. It's just because they're like, no, I'm not having it again. I mean, another thing that I've noticed here in the Dominican Republic is a lot of Dominicans don't like to rent to Dominicans or Haitians, and it's because they just rather rent to foreigners, because foreigners, chances are, will always have the rent on time. And sometimes a lot of Haitians, unfortunately, when they get into the apartment, they are unable to pay it on their own, so they will bring in family members, and then in a studio apartment you may have about 10 people living there. So sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable for a lot of the owners as well. So now we're entering another place. Now this is a very humble apartment, and I saw this one off the side of the road, and very, very humble, but they're only renting it out for 10,000 pesos a month, 200 a month, and they said that they would be willing to fix it up, and they've already painted it. It's like a little office area right there with a bathroom, and then right there is a bedroom. So not so bad. And then of course there's the kitchen, and look, nice little cute kitchen. All right, guys, this was a longer video, but I just wanted to show you some excursions around the way and the countryside if you are contemplating getting a place outside of Sosua. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name's Cerise Fairfax. I am a relocation specialist here, and I also help people find real estate and rentals. Give me a shout if you want a consultation. I can do a 30-minute consultation or a 60-minute consultation. We'll talk about your budget, the area that you want, and what apartments are available. Guys, be good to yourself out there. Huge hugs, loads of love, big blessings. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for subscribing.